Greetings, I'm Clarence Johnson. I'm arguing on behalf of Marie. On behalf of Marie and against the imposition of liability, it can be argued that Marie is not liable for damages to Charlie, Jamie, and Tom for injuries incurred via a motor vehicle accident after Charlie and Jamie consumed a considerable amount of alcohol while attending the party at Marie's college. The duty of care is a requirement that a person act toward others and the public with a watchfulness, attention, caution, prudence that a reasonable person in the circumstances would use. The plaintiffs, Charlie and Jamie, both consumed a considerable amount of alcohol while attending the party at Marie's college. They voluntarily left Marie's college after midnight and operated a motor vehicle after consuming alcohol. Again, the duty of care rule states that a person act toward others and the public with the watchfulness, attention, caution, and prudence that a reasonable person in the circumstances would use. In the precedent case of Merlot versus Hostel House, SOE 1971, the hotel was held partly liable because they removed or had thrown out a drunken patron, and that patron wandered onto the highway and was struck by a motor vehicle operated by a negligent driver. Now, in comparison and contrast to the present case, yes, there was alcohol provided at Marie's house, and the the plaintiffs did actually consume the alcohol. However, the defendant did not forcibly or have the plaintiffs forcibly removed from her premise. So the defendant was not responsible how the plaintiffs had left the cottage or how the plaintiffs have left the premises at the exiting the college. Now, the plaintiffs, on their hand, should have determined or made a reasonable, foreseeability of physical harm prior to consuming alcohol. So it is likely that the plaintiff will prevail in having no liability for the injuries sustained from the motor vehicle accident of Charlie and Jamie and Tom. And Tom was injured due to the plaintiffs operating the motor vehicle. Unlike the precedent case of Merlot versus Hostel, SOE 1971, where the hotel was found partly liable for the injuries of a drunken patron received walking onto a highway and being struck by a negligent driver after being thrown out of the hotel, the defendant did not ask, nor did she have the plaintiffs removed physically from the cottage. The plaintiffs left willfully and intentionally operated a motor vehicle after consuming a considerable amount of alcohol.